At 71, John Travolta finally reveals the truth we all suspected. Have you ever wondered what Hollywood's brightest stars keep hidden behind their dazzling smiles? For decades, John Travolta captivated the world with his charm, his moves, and his iconic roles. But at 71, he has finally revealed the truth we all suspected. It's not about fame, or awards, or the red carpet moments. It's about the heart, the struggles, and the silent battles that shaped the man we've cheered for all these years ago. The world saw Danny Zuko and Vincent Vega, but behind the spotlight, there were losses and secrets that few could imagine. A career full of highs often shadowed by personal storms, a life of glamour intertwined with grief, and choices that defined not only his story, but the way millions viewed resilience. And now, after decades of silence, after whispers that have lingered in tabloids and conversations alike, John is speaking, opening a chapter that has remained private for too long, revealing pieces of himself that even longtime fans never truly knew. Stay with us as we uncover this remarkable truth, the story behind the icon, and why, at 71, everything we thought we knew about John Travolta is about to change. Early life and rise to stardom. Before the world knew John Travolta as the king of the dance floor, he was just a boy growing up in Englewood, New Jersey. Born on February 18, 1954, in a close-knit family, John was the youngest of 6 children. Imagine a house filled with music, laughter, and the constant hum of creativity. His mother, Helen, had been an actress and singer, and she made sure every child felt the magic of performance from a very young age. For John, life was a mix of ordinary childhood moments and the spark of something bigger waiting to unfold. By the time he was a teenager, John was already exploring the world of acting and dancing. His parents recognized his energy and drive, encouraging him to take every opportunity seriously, but it wasn't always easy. He faced rejection, struggled with self-doubt, and at times wondered if he would ever make it beyond his neighborhood stages. There were moments he felt invisible, lost among the chaos of family expectations and his own ambitions. Then came the opportunities that would change everything. At just 19, John made his first appearances on television shows like Welcome Back, Kotter, and a few small roles in movies. These early experiences taught him the craft, but also introduced him to the harsh realities of Hollywood. The spotlight was enticing, but the pressure was relentless. He learned quickly that talent alone was never enough. Perseverance, timing, and a bit of luck were just as important. It was the mid-1970s when John's career truly began to soar. Saturday Night Fever became a cultural phenomenon, and suddenly, the shy boy from New Jersey was on the covers of magazines worldwide. His portrayal of Tony Manero wasn't just acting, it was electrifying. The dance moves, the charisma, the way he made audiences feel every emotion on screen, it all cemented him as a star. People were captivated, not just by his talent, but by the energy he radiated. Yet behind the flashing cameras and adoring fans, John's life was far from perfect. While the world celebrated his rise, he was dealing with the first signs of personal challenges, heartbreaks that would shape his character, and losses that would test his resilience. The fame that promised so much also came with isolation, a pressure to always perform, and the quiet moments when he had to face himself without anyone watching. Even as he traveled the world, attending premieres and receiving accolades, John never forgot where he came from. The lessons from his family, the struggles in small New Jersey theaters, and the early moments of doubt all stayed with him. They were the invisible threads that connected his past to his future, guiding him as he stepped into the bright, unforgiving world of Hollywood. By the time Grease hit the screens, John wasn't just an actor. He was a phenomenon. Teenagers copied his moves, adults admired his charm, and Hollywood recognized a talent that could not be ignored. But even at this peak, life had more lessons in store, lessons that fame and fortune could never teach. John Travolta's early life and rise to stardom is not just a story of talent meeting opportunity. It's a story of persistence, family influence, and the quiet struggles behind the curtain of fame. These experiences set the stage for the challenges and truths he would later reveal, shaping a man who, even at 71, continues to surprise the world with his journey. Love, loss, and heartbreak. Not every chapter in John Travolta's life glimmered with red carpet lights. Long before the world saw him dancing in Saturday Night Fever or charming audiences in Greece, his heart had already experienced its first shocks. Love, for John, was intense and immediate, never half-hearted. But with that intensity came vulnerability, and life has a way of testing even the strongest spirits. At 23, John found love in a way that felt almost cinematic. He met Diana Hyland on a set, an actress several years older, poised and wise. There was a spark between them that was impossible to ignore. Conversations would stretch into the night, laughter filling the spaces between their words. John often said that in her presence, he felt alive in ways he hadn't before. Yet behind the romance, fate had already begun its quiet, relentless work. Diana carried a secret, a past battle with cancer that she had survived, or so she believed. As their relationship blossomed, John had no idea that life was preparing him for heartbreak unlike anything he had ever known. Within months, the health of the woman he had come to love so deeply began to decline. He watched helplessly as the vibrant person he adored faded before his eyes. In March of 1977, Diana passed away in his arms, leaving a void no fame or success could ever fill. For a 23-year-old, it was a grief that could have shattered anyone. But tragedy didn't stop there. Just as John tried to rebuild his life, he faced another devastating blow. His mother, Helen Travolta, who had been his guiding light, his protector, and the one who instilled in him a love for performance, fell ill. The grief he had carried from losing Diana returned tenfold as he became a caregiver for the woman who had given him everything. Helen's passing was another reminder that life often doesn't spare those who are most vulnerable. In the 1980s, as John's career faced its ups and downs, he found solace in love again. Kelly Preston entered his life like a breath of fresh air, a talented, warm, and compassionate woman who could understand the man behind the celebrity persona. Their connection was immediate, a bond built on mutual respect and shared dreams. By 1991, John and Kelly were married, and for the first time in years, hope and stability returned. They built a family together, welcoming their son Jet in 1992, followed by daughter Ella Blue, and later Benjamin. Yet even in this new chapter of joy, life reminded John that loss was never far away. Jet, born with autism and seizure disorders, required constant care, testing John's patience and devotion in ways that only a parent could understand. The family faced these challenges quietly, away from the limelight, balancing love with responsibility. Each day was a reminder that even happiness carries weight, and love sometimes comes hand in hand with struggle. Then, in 2020, another tragedy struck. Kelly Preston, John's partner in life and love, was diagnosed with breast cancer. For John, this was a haunting echo of the past, a cruel repetition of the losses he had endured decades earlier. Yet, through it all, John stayed by her side, supporting her treatments, maintaining hope, and showing a resilience that only comes from surviving unimaginable grief. Kelly fought bravely, but ultimately passed away, leaving John once again facing the heartbreak of losing a loved one. Through all these trials, John Travolta learned lessons that no award or accolade could ever teach. Love was worth the pain, grief was unavoidable but survivable, and heartbreak didn't mean the end, it meant strength, growth, and an understanding of life's fleeting beauty. The man who had danced under the bright lights of Hollywood had also danced with sorrow in the quiet, private moments of his life. John's story reminds us that fame may make life glamorous on the outside, but the heart still feels the deepest losses. It's a journey of love intertwined with pain, of joy shadowed by tragedy, and of resilience forged in the fires of heartbreak. And now, at 71, after decades of navigating love and loss, he is finally ready to reveal the truths that have shaped him. Truths the world has long suspected but never fully understood. Family and fatherhood. John Travolta's life in Hollywood often makes people forget one simple truth. Behind the movie star, there's a father first. For John, family has always been more than just a part of life. It's the center of his world. Even amidst fame, flashing cameras, and global tours, his focus has been on raising his children and creating a home filled with love. His son Jet, born in 1992, brought both joy and challenges. Jet's autism and seizure disorder required constant attention and care. John became the kind of parent who was always present, never delegating love to someone else, always personally involved. Whether attending medical appointments or guiding him through daily routines, John made sure his son felt safe and supported. Friends and neighbors often marveled at his dedication, witnessing the tender moments he shared with Jet, moments hidden from the public eye, but powerful in shaping their bond. Ella Blue and Benjamin, his younger children, experienced a childhood influenced by both the limelight and their father's devotion. Family vacations, spontaneous trips, and quiet evenings at home weren't just luxuries. They were John's way of grounding his children amidst Hollywood's chaos. He worked hard to ensure they grew up with stability, understanding love, and the value of resilience. Parenthood for John wasn't always easy. Balancing career commitments with family life required sacrifices. Film sets, awards shows, and travel could have pulled him away, yet he prioritized moments that mattered most. It wasn't just about providing materially, it was about presence, about showing up every day, even when grief or exhaustion weighed heavily. The tragic loss of Jet in 2009 was a turning point. For a father, nothing can prepare you for losing a child. The grief was indescribable, a pain John carried silently but profoundly. Yet in his mourning, he also found purpose. He began advocating for children with special needs, creating spaces where families could find support, resources, and hope. It became a way of transforming personal tragedy into something meaningful for others. Through all the heartbreaks, John's family remained his anchor. His love for Kelly and the life they built together with their children became the lens through which he viewed the world. Fatherhood taught him patience, humility, and the unspoken power of unconditional love. Every laugh, every milestone, every quiet dinner at home was a reminder that life, even in the shadow of loss, carried moments worth treasuring. Now, at 71, John reflects on fatherhood not just as a responsibility, but as a privilege. His children have grown, yet the lessons he imparted, the care he provided, and the memories they created together remain etched in their lives. The bond of family has helped him survive loss, navigate grief, and discover joy again. In John Travolta's story, family isn't just a part of life, it's the heart of it, shaping him into a man who, despite unimaginable challenges, continues to live fully and love deeply. Career challenges and comeback. Hollywood fame can be as unpredictable as it is dazzling, and John Travolta experienced both the highs and the harsh lows. After his meteoric rise with Saturday Night Fever and Grease, the world expected him to remain untouchable. But stardom can be fragile, and the next chapter of John's career would test his resilience in ways that were invisible to fans. By the early 1980s, the disco era that had catapulted John into superstardom began to fade. Follow-up films failed to capture the same magic. Critics questioned his staying power, and suddenly, the industry that once celebrated him seemed ready to move on. John faced rejection after rejection, often wondering if he had peaked too early. Behind the public smiles and magazine covers, he battled self-doubt, worried about his legacy, and felt the weight of living up to expectations that no one could realistically sustain. Yet these challenges were never the end of his story. John had learned, through personal loss and heartbreak, that resilience comes from within. He continued working, exploring different roles, and refusing to let temporary setbacks define him. In the late 1980s, he began taking parts that demanded versatility, from dramatic roles to action films, proving that his talent wasn't limited to dance or charm alone. Each role became a stepping stone, quietly building momentum for a much-needed comeback. The turning point arrived in 1994 with Pulp Fiction. Director Quentin Tarantino offered John a role that was completely different from anything he had done before. Vincent Vega, a cool, smooth-talking hitman critics and audiences alike were captivated. Suddenly, John was back in the spotlight, but this time with a new kind of respect. No longer just the heartthrob of teen fantasies, he was a serious actor with range, depth, and undeniable charisma. The success of Pulp Fiction opened doors to diverse projects, from action films like Face Off to family dramas and romantic comedies. John's ability to reinvent himself became a defining feature of his career. Fans saw the charm they loved, but also the maturity, skill, and determination that came from decades of struggle both on and off the screen. Through all these professional challenges, John never let setbacks erode his passion for acting. He remained deeply committed to his craft, often spending hours perfecting performances and learning from each experience. His journey shows that career success isn't always linear. Sometimes it's about persistence, patience, and the courage to take risks, even when the odds seem stacked against you. By embracing new opportunities and learning from failures, John Travolta proved that true resilience isn't about avoiding obstacles. It's about confronting them, adapting, and rising stronger each time. His comeback is not just a story of career revival, but a testament to the power of determination, passion, and the willingness to evolve. Even at 71, John continues to inspire, showing that talent combined with perseverance can overcome almost any challenge. The truth he finally reveals. After decades in the spotlight, surviving heartbreak, and navigating life's unpredictable twists, John Travolta finally spoke about what the world had long suspected. At 71, he chose honesty over image, reflection over performance, revealing truths that are as human as they are moving. For years, fans admired his charm, his dance moves, and his iconic roles. Few realized the silent battles he had faced behind closed doors. Losing loved ones, managing family challenges, and confronting repeated tragedy had left marks that no award or accolade could erase. But John never shied away from life. He endured, learned, and quietly grew stronger. In his recent interviews, John opened up about grief, resilience, and the weight of living through so much loss. He admitted that surviving repeated heartbreak had reshaped his priorities. Fame, accolades, and even financial success felt secondary to love, presence, and family. For him, happiness became less about the applause of the world and more about the moments spent with those he cherished most. He also spoke candidly about fatherhood and parenting, sharing how losing his son Jet and supporting his children through life's challenges taught him profound lessons. He emphasized that grief is personal, unpredictable, and sometimes isolating, yet it is also a teacher. Through every loss, John discovered new depths of empathy, patience, and understanding qualities that cannot be learned on any movie set. Perhaps most surprisingly, John revealed how he has chosen to embrace life fully again. At 71, he travels, pilots planes, and spends quality time with his children, finding joy in experiences that once seemed fleeting. His openness about love, grief, and resilience sends a message that survival isn't just about enduring. It's about living with purpose, even when the past threatens to weigh you down. The world may have suspected the strength behind John Travolta's smile, But now, we finally understand the man beneath the Hollywood persona. His story is not just about fame or tragedy. It's about the human spirit, the courage to keep moving, and the wisdom gained from decades of living fully, despite immense pain. John's revelation reminds us that even in life's darkest chapters, it's possible to rediscover hope, find joy, and embrace the truth of who we are. And as he continues to navigate this journey, the lessons he shares are more than personal. They are universal, inspiring anyone who has faced loss, fear, or uncertainty to keep moving forward, one step at a time. John Travolta's journey teaches us that life isn't measured by the glitz of Hollywood or the applause of millions. It's measured by how we face challenges, love deeply, and keep moving forward, even when the world seems determined to test us. From heartbreak and loss to rediscovery and joy, his story is a reminder that resilience and hope can shine through even the darkest times. As John opens up about the truths we all suspected, he shows that it's okay to be vulnerable, to mourn, and to rebuild. His experiences remind us that grief and happiness can coexist, and that honoring our past doesn't prevent us from embracing the future. Every moment, every decision, and every choice he has made reflect courage, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to family and life. If John Travolta's story moved you, inspired you, or gave you a new perspective on love, loss, and resilience, don't keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know which part of his journey resonated with you the most. Hit that like button if you found his story powerful, and make sure to subscribe for more real-life stories that reveal truths and inspire courage. Stay with us, because there's always more behind the spotlight, and sometimes the truth is even more remarkable than we imagined.